Goals for the upcoming season, probably the most important thing is that we just take one match at a time. We have a very demanding schedule this year, and I really don't want the girls to be looking ahead to who we're playing in late September or early October. I want them focused on the first match, August 29th, just take it one game at a time. The goal for every season is always to make conference playoffs, to win the conference championship. And we've kind of upped the ante a little bit this year, and one of our big goals is we want to go all the way in NCAAs. We want to win a national championship. We have all of our starters back from last season, which is probably the first time since I started coaching at F&M that's happened. So the 4 players who made all-conference last season, I'll highlight those. We have Julie Harvey, who was Centennial Conference Player of the Year in 2013. She was also first team All-Mid-Atlantic region. Julie is just a dominant force in the middle. She's worked really hard to make herself a better overall player, and we expect her to be the same dominant player that she was last year. Senior Caroline Hubbard, she's been our team setter for the last 3 years, and she had a great junior season in terms of leadership and statistics. She made first team all-conference last year, and she's just worked so hard to make herself into a better setter. She's really a student of the game now, and we're really happy with the progress that she's made. Junior Alyssa Sanchez was our team's libero last year, and she's just a rock on serve, receive, and on defense. She's a quiet leader, but she's probably everyone's calming presence on the court. And then Ellie Ezekiel was an honorable mention all-conference outside hitter last year, and as a freshman, she really carried herself like she was an upperclassman. She's a great leader, she's a hard worker, she's extremely competitive, and we expect her to be even better this year. Some of our key losses from last season include, well, all 4 of our seniors, Gabrielle Connor, Alana Benabou, Kelsey Beveridge, and Megan Hubert. They're perhaps the best group of senior leaders that I have had, and they just really focused on what was best for the team and not what was best for them as individuals, and we've never really had a group who did that as well as they did. And I think that that's going to be the hardest kind of intangible thing to replace, is that they were always focused on team first, me second. And I don't know how you replace that. That's probably going to be impossible. What I can say is that we've been pleased with what we've seen so far from the girls. They seem to be supporting each other in practice, off the court, and I think that we're encouraged to see how they are carrying themselves so far. Our freshman class is a smaller one this year than it was last year. We have 4 players as opposed to 8 last year, but I'm really happy with the class that we got. We essentially replaced what we graduated in terms of positions. So I'll start with freshman middle Cassie Garrison. She's very long and lanky, and if you looked at her, you probably wouldn't think that she was any good, but she's deceptively quick. She gets off the ground, moves laterally very well, and she's an extremely hard worker. So she's a kid who, as a junior in high school, maybe weighed 100 pounds, and she's about 5'11". And you know, she's bulked up a lot, and she's worked really hard on her fitness, and that's made her a much more dynamic player. So she's definitely going to be competitive at her position. We also have Jacqueline LaForgia. She is a small outside hitter. She's only about 5'7", but she's very explosive. She's dynamic on the court. She jumps very well. She is a very good instinctive defender. She reads the court very well, and she's someone who is really going to push the other players at her position competitively. We also have Shay Murphy. Shay is a player who played high school volleyball for my father, and I thought she was crazy wanting to be coached by another Boland for 4 more years, but she chose to come here anyway. Shay has probably the quickest feet I've ever seen on a defender. She's always moving her feet. She's always focused on what she can do to get better. She's very vocal. She communicates well on the court. And she's someone who we knew we wanted at F&M right away just because she had such a great attitude and work ethic. And we're really happy with how she's performing so far. The last freshman is Danny Skelly. She's a setter, but she's also a really good defender. She's tremendously athletic. She's quick on the court. She's very versatile. And she's somebody who hasn't been coached very much at the setting position yet, and so it's going to take her a little while to kind of pick up on what we're doing, but she has been learning very fast, and she has the capability to run the type of offense that we like to run here at F&M. And so all 4 of them have the potential to contribute this year. I don't know if any of them will end up starting, but they are making every other player in our gym better just because of their presence and their work ethic. Preseason has been going pretty well so far. The girls came into preseason really in fantastic physical shape. It's probably the best shape that we've seen a group of players of ours in our history, coaching here at F&M. So we're pleased with their level of fitness. We're extremely happy with how they've been working in the gym. We've been throwing a lot of new things at them this year. We're making some changes with our offense and some small tweaks with our defense. And they're just kind of picking it up and not complaining, not making excuses about why things aren't going well, and they're just staying really positive. And I think as a coaching staff, it's easy for us to be happy with that. Our schedule in 2014 is very different than it was in 2013. It's much more demanding. We're on the road a lot more, and the quality of opponent is much higher. We have something like 12 or 13 teams from last season who are regionally ranked, and I think we have 5 teams who are nationally ranked on our schedule. And that's extremely different than it was last year. So in terms of results, we don't know what that's going to look like. If we go 23-6 this year, that means we have a really, really good team. But we're going to have to work harder. We're going to have to be more focused. And I think it's going to be a huge shift competitively because we were used to winning a lot last year, and the level of opponent we have this year is just completely different. It's going to make us better playing the best teams in our region and in the country on a regular basis, and it's going to help prepare us for our tough conference schedule. In terms of the matches that we're looking forward to the most, every single team in our conference is a team that we have to prepare for. There are no bad teams in our conference. So there's 10 matches right there that we know we have to focus on and prepare for. Out of conference, we're going to a tournament at Juniata where there are 4 fantastic teams that we get the opportunity to play. And we're also going up to Stevenson University to play them. They made the Sweet 16 last year. So I know the girls are really excited about the level of competition that we have this year, and I'm hoping that the hard work that they put in during the off season and during preseason is really going to pay off. The coaching staff is really excited. We have seen just a tremendous amount of effort in our practices so far. And I think top to bottom, this team is the most talented that we've ever had. There are 17 girls on this team. Every single one of them has the potential to play. And they're all making each other better. And I think as coaches, we can't ask for more than that. So we're really excited to see how they adjust to the level of competition that we have this year. And we're extremely optimistic about how things are going to go.